My talk's called I'll Have What She's Having. So for me, balancing the 9 to 5 and sort of my creative side gig is about keeping my sanity. So if I'm sane at the end of a 24-hour day, then I'm a winner. And it's important to say that I don't always manage to stay sane. Sort of 9 times out of 10 I don't. So who am I and how do I qualify to talk about balance? So I'm a full-time film critic and writer. I'm currently balancing a 9 to 5 job as a full-time lawyer in a government department. And I'm writing my first book. So some weeks I work 42 hours in my full-time job, sometimes it's 60 weeks. So it's a real balance, that's why sanity is so important, and that's what I think balance is. It's about sanity, it's about checking in with yourself, as Lola said before. And I also turned 40 this year, so that came as a complete shock and kind of threw me off balance, which Taya can talk about because we had long chats about that. So how did I start in this creative gig as a film critic that people think is so sexy? And they were like, oh my goodness, how did you do this? I want to do that. So I should say I knew nobody when I first started. I was living in Paris. I left London when I was 33, wanted to escape the noise of London, becoming kids, buying a house. There I was in my gypsy boots, didn't own anything apart from a computer. So I moved there, and then I had this car accident and I was sick for 7 weeks. And so I thought, well, what can I do? I went to the cinema all the time, and I saw an advert on Mandy.com asking for a film critic for this film blog website, and I thought, I could do that. Well, I don't know how to write a review, but I can do that. I know what I don't like. So that was back in 2013. And then I sent the editor of that blog some reviews from my own blog of like solo dining in Paris, which I created because I wanted to go out and eat in restaurants, and everybody's coupled up, and I was single, and I thought, how do I do this? So that's how my blog started. And then fast forward to Christmas 2014, I left Paris, came back to London, and I thought, right, I've got some savings, I'm going to be a full-time journalist. And I really wanted to write features for women's magazines like Cosmopolitan. I wrote Psychologies at the time. And that didn't really work out because I spent all my savings, and I thought, oh shit, I need to go back and get a real job. Otherwise, what am I going to do? But at the same time as finding a new job, I became this critic, started networking, and now 2 years later I ended up at Cannes Film Festival working for HMV, been to Venice, Edinburgh, appeared on BBC Radio 4, and this year on live TV on the Victoria Derbyshire show. All whilst working as a full-time lawyer because I have to pay my rent. My landlady is sitting in the audience, and I need like shoes and Dixie candles and massages and all of that. So how did I kind of achieve this balance and kind of grow what is a burgeoning film critic writer career, which hopefully I could do full time maybe in 6 months' time. So this will sound similar to what Lola said, because I think there's like a lot of points that kind of overlap. Perfection is overrated, so forget perfection. If you haven't started, start, and if you have started, just keep going. It doesn't matter that you only have like 50 followers on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Just keep going. There'll be somebody out there who you'll connect with, and it's about having quality, because you can have 10,000 followers and not have quality followers. And there's the quality followers who will connect with you at some point and maybe offer you, an opportunity to write for them or to come to, for me, for like a film screening, and you build up in that way. So, and also, like turning 40, I felt when I started at 37 that I should be perfect. I was a lawyer, I achieved quite a lot, and now I'm starting being a film critic and I knew nothing. I didn't know how to write a film review, how to interview anybody. My first interview at Edinburgh Film Festival was a disaster. I had these really long questions. I couldn't find my phone to record the actor, and I was looking in my bag, and he's like, your phone's on the table. I'm like, okay. So just, you have to kind of lose that perfection gene that I think you get as you get older. You are so interesting that you don't realise that. So when I go to film screenings or parties, people will say, oh, you know, so what do you do? And I say, well, you know, I'm a lawyer. And they're like, oh my God, you do this as well. So, you know, you've got a lot to offer, so don't discount that. Focus means saying no. Like in your 40s, you're defined by what you say no to. Same thing with your creative career. So to achieve balance, when I first started out in 2015 properly, I said yes to everything. And I think you should still say yes, but I say yes in a smart way. So in 2015, I said yes to everything. I was a whore for the films. I saw 3 or 4 films a day at festivals. I went to loads of screenings. Most of that year was a complete and utter blur. And then I started saying, well, actually, I don't like certain things. I don't like horror films. I just don't like them. So I don't watch them. I just say no. I don't want to go to, you know, small festivals. I want to do large festivals. I know where I'm going. So in actual fact, me going to some kind of, you know, superhero convention is not my thing. That's somebody else's thing. That's fantastic. I like world cinema. I like narrative-driven films. You know, I like odd blockbuster, but I'm not going to go to those films, and I'm not going to feel like, well, I'm not at the top of everybody else, because I am. I was on the BBC. Other people I've met haven't been on the BBC, but they're working for very well-known magazines. So it's all a mix. Stay fit. You know, if you don't exercise, start exercising. So I broke my toe a couple of weeks ago, so I haven't been able to exercise. But I would say that you should either start, you know, run or go for long walks or Pilates, whatever it is, because when you're creative, you can really overthink things and stay in your head quite often. And actually, exercise will help you get rid of all that nervous energy and that tension and, you know, all the kind of inner critic. I'm rubbish, I'm not going to do this, blah, blah, blah. Boundaries are really, really important, and that goes with focus. So get some. You know, if you don't know what boundary is, look it up in the dictionary, get some. Really, really important. And a support network. So we talk about support networks and, you know, family and all that kind of stuff. I have a great support network, some great friends. They're not all supportive when I first started out. One of my best friends, he said, Ros, film critic, really? You know, you've come back to London, you need to get a house, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I said to him, no, I'm doing this, I hate being a lawyer, I'm doing it to pay the rent, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make it work. And 2 years on, you know, there he was watching me on the BBC One and Victoria Derbyshire show, going, bloody hell, what's on TV? And I thought, yeah, so actually having somebody who's not overly supportive at the beginning is quite good, because then it tests you to see whether or not you've actually got a strong resolve. And if you're weakening that resolve, then maybe you need to rethink what you're doing. Also, don't be too rigid in what you're doing, because, you know, it evolves. So I really thought I was going to write for women's magazines and, you know, move on to writing for newspapers about female-focused features. And actually, that hasn't worked out. I write film reviews and I really enjoy it. So don't be too rigid in the idea that you set out on a particular path and that's what you're going to do. It could mean that you spread out, diversify, and that you're not doing what you thought you'd be doing, you know, 2 years later, whatever. I would also say get up early if you've got a full-time job. I'm not an early bird, I'm a night owl, but I really hate getting up early. Currently, I'm writing my first book, and I'm doing this great website called Critique Me, run by Louise Dean, and she says, you know, get up early at 5, and then write for an hour, and then your day is done. sometimes I get up at 5:30, whatever. But the thing is, she's right, because actually what happens to me is if I come home and try and write, the noise of the day is in my head, so all the issues at work, you know, a crap journey, I live on the southern train line, so that's just misery. I might want to go out for drinks, and I think I can't go out for drinks because I've got to go home and write. And so actually, you know, you'll feel virtuous even if you're not going to write. If you're kind of going to work on your blog or do whatever, you'll feel really virtuous if you wake up an hour earlier than usual and just get started. It's really hard, balance, and sometimes it feels like pushing water up a hill. And you know, that's okay. It's okay to have the wobbles. I have them quite often. I can just sit and just eat chocolate and watch American Gods and Amazon Prime, you know, and I just don't do anything, and I think, oh my goodness, what am I doing? But it's okay. You know, if you really want this, then life is short and you should just keep doing it. It's hard, and the reason why we think people who are successful in creative industry are really good is because reinvention is bloody hard. So if you're here and you've got to that first step, then keep going because you're closer than you think. There are people who've created great apps out there. So, you know, just because you are balancing a 9 to 5 and a creative job doesn't mean that you should be all things for all people and that you can do everything. You can't. So I use a really great app called SaneBox, which is SANE box. And what it filters your emails. So I now have a Sane Later inbox for people who I don't email all the time. And in my actual inbox are only emails that are really important. There's no junk. The junk is in another Sane junk box, whatever it's called. And it's great. So it means that, you know, somebody's filtered for me what I can't do. And so that takes away, you know, part of me feeling like I can't get everything done. It's done for me. It costs a little bit, but actually it's worth just paying a little bit to use fantasy. Duvet days, they're really important. I used to think it was cobblers when people said that they would like diarise, you know, mid-time. I do it, and I'm really, really strict about it. And my duvet afternoon is I just sit and either watch TV or catch my programmes. I might read, I might write, but I don't do anything that's with my creative job, so i.e. watching films, or my day job, or like seeing people. I just do what I want to do. So if I want to go to the V&O museum, or whatever I want to do, I do in that afternoon. And I do it every week, and I'm pedantic about it. I don't let anybody enter into that space. Routine is really important as well. I'm not very structured, you know. My landlady can tell you that, who's known me since I was 7. I'm not very structured at all. But I've got more structured about certain things because I think, what do I really want? And if you have that as your primary question in your head, what do I want? And what I really want is to be a full-time film critic and writer, and a novelist, and no 9 to 5 job. So if that's my starting point, then actually having the routine is not so hard. And lastly, when you start to get really successful, but you still need money in the way that I do, you might look to get another 9 to 5 job. And now I'm looking to go down to 3 days a week somewhere. I would say don't take a job in the field that you want to be in. So I wouldn't think about working for a film company or anything like that. I mean, I write for HMV, but I wouldn't want to work for them. So take a job that's kind of monotonous, something that you can do that's real easy. So, you know, for me, temping as a lawyer, as difficult as it sounds, it's actually quite easy because I haven't really got to relearn anything. I can just go in, switch on, do my cases, go home, and, you know, and that's it. So I can say to you, you know, once you get slightly successful and you're getting money from your side gig, then look to get, you know, a 3-day-a-week job somewhere. And that's it.
Yeah. I was, Ros in particular, but anyone who's got thoughts on it, I always feel that tension personally between wanting to do a lot of the anti-burnout stuff and the competition, particularly in a really competitive field. And I just wondered how you balance those.
I think you have to get to a point where if you think about, how unique you are, and so nobody's you, and especially when you're starting later, you've got an advantage. So I think if you were in your 20s starting it, you're actually all the same, but actually you've got an advantage. I think you've got to really think, I'm good at this, and you know what it takes to make hard, you know what it takes to get there from your normal job. But I think having boundaries is really important. I've avoided burnout, sort of just, but it's by having boundaries. So I'm quite particular about what I do, and then saying no to things. I came close to it in 2015 when I was going to all these films and stuff, and I thought, this is insane. I was so exhausted. So I think you realise that you've got to get a balance. And so the boundaries are really important. And then being selective and thinking, I'm brilliant. I'm absolutely brilliant. I can write, I can string a sentence together. Most people I meet, I think, I can talk. I've had a career that's, hard to get into. And I'm picky. I don't date anybody I meet. I don't eat I pick about restaurants. So I'm picky about moving forward, and it takes time. It's the editor of Psychology's magazine, and I met her back in 2012. It takes about 3 years from the start of when you decide that you want to have a career change to getting a career change. So if you think about that in your mind as well, that it's going to take a while, that will help you with the competition and other people. And just think, you're coming at this, why you want to do it. You're making a change.